On the night of April 14th, 1865, a single gunshot echoed inside Ford's Theater. A man slumped forward in his seat, and a nation held its breath. But before that tragic night, there was a story of struggle, courage, and destiny. The story of a boy born in a wooden cabin who would rise to lead a broken nation. This is the story of Abraham Lincoln. February 12th, 1809, deep in the forests of Kentucky. In a one-room log cabin with dirt floors and smoky air, a baby's cry rang out. His name, Abraham Lincoln. His family was poor. There were no schools, no luxuries, only work, hunger, and faith. But young Abe had one gift, an endless curiosity. He walked miles through cold forests just to borrow a single book. And at night, he would read by firelight, his face glowing in the dim flame. When he was 9, tragedy struck. His mother, Nancy Hanks Lincoln, died of illness. The grief was deep, but it forged in him a strength, a quiet endurance. The Lincolns moved west to Indiana and later Illinois, where Abe split rails, guided riverboats, and dreamed of something greater, a better life, a better nation. Illinois opened a new chapter. Lincoln tried everything: clerk, postmaster, surveyor, until he found his calling, the law. Self-taught and determined, he studied thick law books by candlelight. He rose from nothing to become a respected lawyer in Springfield. People trusted him. They called him Honest Abe. In 1842, he married Mary Todd, a woman of intellect and ambition. Their marriage was full of fire, laughter, and sorrow. They lost children, fought depression, but never gave up on hope. Then came a storm that would divide America: slavery. In 1854, the Kansas-Nebraska Act allowed new states to choose slavery for themselves. Lincoln was outraged. He stepped back into politics, joining the new Republican Party, vowing to stop the spread of slavery. In 1858, he faced Senator Stephen Douglas in fiery debates. The nation listened. A house divided against itself cannot stand, he warned. He lost the election, but won the hearts of the American people. Abraham Lincoln, the poor lawyer from the frontier, was elected the 16th President of the United States. Before he even took office, 7 southern states had left the Union. The nation was falling apart. At his inauguration, he pleaded, "We are not enemies, but friends. We must not be enemies." But peace was already gone. In April 1861, cannons fired on Fort Sumter, and the Civil War began. Lincoln's mission was simple, yet impossible: preserve the Union. But as years passed, the war became about something greater: freedom. On January 1st, 1863, Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, declaring that all enslaved people in Confederate territory were free. The war was no longer just about states and borders. It became a fight for humanity itself. In November 1863, at Gettysburg, Lincoln spoke only 2 minutes, but his words echoed through eternity. "Government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth." By 1864, the nation re-elected him. His second inaugural address carried no pride, only grace, with malice toward none, with charity for all. He dreamed of healing the wounds of war, but destiny had other plans. April 14th, 1865. The war was over. Peace had finally come. That night, the President and Mary went to Ford's Theater to see a comedy, Our American Cousin. But hidden in the shadows was John Wilkes Booth, a famous actor and Confederate sympathizer. At 10:15 p.m., Booth entered the president's box, aimed his pistol, and fired. The bullet struck behind Lincoln's ear. Booth jumped to the stage, shouting, "Sic semper tyrannis!" Thus always to tyrants. Chaos erupted. Lincoln was carried across the street to Peterson House, where doctors fought to save him through the night. At 7:22 a.m., April 15, 1865, Abraham Lincoln took his final breath. The man who freed millions and saved his nation was gone. Across the nation, millions mourned. His body was carried by train from Washington to Springfield. Towns lined the tracks. People wept as it passed. But Abraham Lincoln's story did not end with death. It lives on, in every voice that cries for freedom, in every hand that builds a fairer nation. He preserved the Union. He ended slavery. He showed that one man born in poverty could change the destiny of millions. From a log cabin to the White House, from sorrow to immortality. Abraham Lincoln, the great Emancipator. Those who deny freedom to others deserve it not for themselves.